Good afternoon everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a few items I find extremely important when playing Arena in Warcraft or in any other competitive team game. I must warn you though that these tips are mostly catered to beginners, although some more seasoned players could find some use in these tips as well. I wrote down 6 points that I'd like to discuss. The first one being knowledge and thinking ahead, timing, anticipation, communication, and attitude. The first item I'm going to discuss is knowledge. I think this is the most important step you have to take to become successful in Arena. You need to know as much as you can about every single class and spec in the game. While you play, you basically need to be like a huge sponge that just absorbs information from whatever source you can get your hands on. Especially people who are completely new to the game or to arenas, even players who are very experienced PvE players, they will not know everything they need to know about other classes. Back when I started out in Arena in Season 5, there was so much I didn't know. And gradually though, you learn what every single spell of every single spec of every single class does. For example, I didn't know that you couldn't cyclone when a DK was using his green shit, also known as AMS. So when I started out in arenas, I would just cyclone straight into it, wondering why the hell my cyclone doesn't work. So yeah, learn as much as you can and you will improve a lot. The second item I'm going to discuss is thinking ahead. So after you learn all abilities and spells, you know what your opponents are capable of. Use this to your advantage and think ahead. Don't blow your cooldowns on that warrior when you know he still hasn't used his regeneration or his shield wall. And before you go for a cyclone, check for a grounding totem buff and kill it. Before you pounce a mage, make sure you don't blow Feral Charge on it, because you know he's going to blink your pounce. The third item I'm going to discuss is timing. When you think ahead, it's important to time your abilities accordingly. For example, you're getting cheap shot by a rogue in the beginning of a match, but he doesn't use his smoke bomb and your healer isn't being controlled. Do not use your barkskin here, because you're going to need it when you get kidneyed in a smoke bomb, when your healer is feared and the rogue is dumping ambushes on you. If you don't have barkskin up, then you're basically dead. The fourth item I'm going to discuss is anticipation. So we pretty much know what every class can do, we are thinking ahead and we are planning our abilities accordingly. Now it's time to forget all about that and start thinking what your opponents are trying to do. If you're playing Feral Warrior Holy Paladin and you're up against an RMP and you see your warrior being opened on with a smoke bomb, you know that they are going to CC the shit out of your paladin. So when you see a paladin getting deep, you get ready to kick the poly, or you can cyclone the mage. It sounds really obvious, but there's a lot of people that don't do that. Another example would be eating traps versus hunter teams. I'm constantly looking out for scatters on my healer, since eating a trap can completely remove the opponent's pressure. The fifth item I'm going to discuss is communication. This is a key point in Arena. This game is a team sport. You constantly need to let your partners know what you're up to, what you're seeing, what cooldowns you're using, etc. If your healer doesn't let you know he's going to get scattered trap, you can't eat it unless you just happen to see it. If you don't communicate and coordinate your defensive cooldowns, you will blow them all at once and you will die a minute later. Just don't be lazy, don't be the silent guy who sits back and just does his own thing. It's just not going to work. The last item I'm going to talk about is attitude. This one is kind of simple. Just don't be a douche to your partners. Don't shout at them. They are trying their best just like you. They are not the ones that are against you in the arena. You're supposed to work together. So don't rage when you lose. Try to come up with ways to avoid a loss instead. And just in general, having a positive attitude could really boost your rating up by a considerable amount. Alright, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it interesting. So feel free to comment, subscribe and like the video. I will highly appreciate it. And have a great day everyone.